Hi, my name is Nan, and today I want to talk about modern anime here in 2016/2017. And the thing is, I'll throw this out there. I used to be a really big anime fan, as in I used to watch a lot of anime. I'm talking like I could sit down and just binge watch episode after episode. It could be like a modest like anime season, well, for season length back then we're talking like 20 to 50 episodes. That's modest for back then, and I could sit down and watch the whole thing without stopping. Basically, yeah, I could finish those type of series really fast. And so for the longer ones, 100 plus episodes, I could finish them pretty quickly too. That's the nature of how I used to watch anime. I used to binge watch, especially back then where, well, it was right after anime became a lot more accessible on the internet. We're talking like back then it was a real pain to get anime, like at least we're talking like the legal way, as in you go out and you bought the videos or the DVDs, or they were like $20 a pop for just a few episodes. But that was the norm back then. That's how people consumed anime. That's how that's how they got access to it. But now, just go online for a few seconds, you can find an entire show. But there came a point where anime just, I don't know if it was a combination of I just got weary of anime, or I guess you could say I just matured as I got older, but anime just became less appealing for me. I found myself less excited for anime, and as I stare at the chart for the fall, this fall's anime and stuff like that for 2016, with 2017 around the corner, same thing. I don't find myself eager to look through most of these shows. Maybe it's because I just have less time in general. Because when you're a kid, you have all the time in the world just to watch shows at your leisure. But I watch anime here and there now. It's a very seldom thing. I set aside some time when I can just to watch a few episodes, and because I have less time, I'm just more cautious of what I choose to watch, because I don't want to go through every single show and find myself just, because the big thing about a lot of anime for me, at least at this point for me, maybe that's how I got burnt out from it, is it's really repetitive. A lot of the shows now, they recycle the same tropes, storylines. It's gotten old in a lot of regards. So when a show comes along and really mixes up with the dynamics and just actually tries to be, God forbid, a unique show, I'm all for it. And I guess I just wonder if anime can continue being like this, or if it's just recycling a new generation of a new generation of viewers, I should say. Because I used to think anime was like one of the coolest things in the world for me. It's just the shows now are just they have such a samey feel. I could watch a random given show. If we're talking about like a modern show, and just like I can predict what's gonna happen. I can predict what character is gonna act like this. It's gotten super sad, I think, with the anime industry when we just focus on just the character tropes. Yeah, if you go down like tsundere and all that stuff, when a show when the only real difference for a show's character, like being a tsundere, is the character's name and like the color of their hair, it's a bad sign. And those are just the characters, when it doesn't help that in Japan they typecast like crazy. They get the same actors and voice actresses to do essentially the same role for multiple shows. And when they're typecast like that, you know exactly how they're going to play out. So from a creative standpoint, these characters are just carbon copies of one another, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe that one trick pony for that, in that regard, I just couldn't stand watching it over and over again. And then that's just the characters. Then if we're talking about like actual storylines, it's a sad thing when you go down a checklist and you think, okay, so for this anime, it's more than 80% of anime take place in some kind of high school setting with high school age characters, because Japan, God forbid, you know, has a thing against people who get past 20 or something. Look, Japan, there's more to life than just high school, but apparently in anime you wouldn't know, and you wouldn't know. But anyway, if you just take the regular high school anime setting, you go down a standard checklist where, okay, they're gonna have a high school cultural festival, they're gonna have a beach episode, they're gonna have a hot springs episode. You go through all those things. It's so ad nauseum. It's such an ad nauseum thing just to see them again and again every other show, and you just expect it. And it's not. I just think it's not a good thing that a lot of modern anime watchers they gobble it up, because it's become so integrated into what you expect when you consume anime. It's like I wish the anime industry actually tried to do something a little bit outside of the box here and there. But of course, you know, that's a double-edged sword in itself, because there's some shows, they're essentially just glorified high school anime things, but they throw it in some kind of weird kooky twist. And it's just I don't know if that's any better. It's just you're just putting paint on something that's the same thing. You know, a different coat of paint. It's the same thing. It's just a little bit different, if we want to call it that by technical standards. But basically, I wish anime tried a little bit harder. I don't want to look at a whole chart of the new anime shows coming out and seeing, like, I've seen this before. Like, I've literally seen this before. It's kind of funny how modern anime, well, usually anyway, the animation quality has gone up and everything like that. The production values have gone up for the most part. You know, don't get me wrong. Some shows are kind of crappy in that sense. You know, they're maybe the studios are a little poor, but the overall, the creative, creativity, the creative elements, the creative elements of the plots and stuff like that. They're nowhere to be seen sometimes. And I guess I want more people to realize that, just like I have, because I'm all for getting back into anime like completely like I used to, but just right now the anime industry has let me down in all kinds of regards. So now anime is just a once in a while type of thing. I'll watch a show that catches my interest here and there, but it's just not the same. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Thanks for listening.